like the way you move. I like the way you move. I like the way you move. Michael Kennedy, I like the way. I like the way. Oh, I like the way you move. Ooh, I like the way you move. Ooh, I like the way you move. I like the way. Oh, I like the way. 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 We back.
We back, ladies and gentlemen. Milk and Honey Show, baby. Y'all miss me?
We hear y'all out there screaming. Go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. We hear. Yes, that's right. Milk and Honey. We're back. I am your host, the lovely Tashika Benson. Y'all can follow me on Facebook, Tashika Benson, Tashika Benson. I got 2 pages. Instagram, official Tashika Benson. TikTok, I think I'm just Tashika Benson. But Tashika, just look for me. You'll find me. And now let's get to our other hosts. Come on. Who we got?
There's the one and only Michael Kennedy sitting here. I only have one Facebook page, but anyway, it's okay. I'm here. I'm not as popular as Tashika, but I'm so glad to be here. How long has it been since we've done this?
Earl said it's been like over a year.
Over a year, man.
That's a long time.
That is a long time. But we back. We back. And we hotter than ever. Yes.
And who we got sitting in for Miss Lisa Lord?
Hey, it's Miss Toya here.
Toya. Elder Toya. Come on.
No.
You got a word for us tonight?
Yes.
No.
Toya spoke something.
You got a word?
I
saw
it. Be blessed.
Y'all go her page. She
Hallelujah.
preaching. She looked like an angel on there.
I did not preach.
Yes, you did.
Yes,
you had the Bible.
She had a word from heaven.
I just spoke.
All you needed was a Hammond B3 organ, man.
That's all, Mike. That's
You
all.
wasn't there.
That's
And
right.
Mike, you know, Earl got a keyboard here.
Really?
So don't start.
Okay. We're gonna get a word from Toya.
Yeah. Know that. So look, y'all, we got some hot topics here. We got a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. But first, right? We always tell y'all to send in your letter.
Yes.
Send in your letter. You can send it to Tashika Benson. You can send it to Michael Kennedy. You can send it to Lisa Lard. We're going to read your letter.
Yes, we are.
Now, although we have 4 letters, there was one letter that I said I was going to read today. So we're going to read this letter, right, Mike?
Yes, read it.
Y'all
Let's
ready?
see what they saying.
Okay, it say, Dear Milk and Honey, I've been married for 3 years and I work from home.
That's the problem.
But I have to travel sometimes for conferences. Toy, you should know about this. I often ride with coworkers if it's a short distance. Well, last week I drove and my coworkers, they jumped in with me. I made sure not to tell my husband who was riding with me until we got in the car. So I could act like I went up to the office and the guys just happened to end up in my car. And the plan worked. And my husband, he called right as we pulled up to the hotel in Austin. So I stayed in the car to take the call while my coworkers got our bags. It started raining, so I had to rush off the phone and get to the hotel because I didn't have my umbrella. I threw my phone in my purse and hurried out the rain. I checked in and got my phone out my purse. Don was in my room because he had bought my bags up for me. I had no idea that I had butt dialed my husband. And he was on the other end of the phone listening to our conversation. Don laughed about how bad I drive and how poor Kelvin was holding on for dear life because I was speeding. We laughed and talked for a minute or two, and then Don came over, hugged me, grabbed my behind, and kissed the soul out of my body. That boy laid it on me, and I was speechless. Then he just walked out and didn't say a word. My husband apparently hung up at that point and called me back. He said he heard that I had 2 men in the car, and I didn't tell him. And what made it worse is I had a man in my room. But what upset him the most was the long silence he heard before Don walked out the room. So how do I explain the silence? I don't know what all he heard. Do I confess or do I keep acting dumb? Let's start with Toya. Toya, what say you?
Come on, Elder. Tell us what you think. Come on now. Yes, what you got to say?
Tell us, honey. What would you do Your husband, now you caught. I mean, what you do? You come
Well,
clean?
I mean, is she really caught? Because he ain't saying nothing to her.
Okay,
He just asked
so
about
what
the
you
son.
do? Oh,
Did
Jesus.
y'all hear what the elder said?
Just keep going
Say it a
until
little louder, elder.
No.
says he really
I,
don't get a
I,
none
I,
on. That's what Toya saying. Well,
Wow. She said he
no,
he don't really know. 'Cause he
no.
ain't caught.
You need to tell him.
Uh,
You need to tell him what happened.
at that
okay.
point, Mike, what you do?
Girl, you caught already. What can you say? You caught already. Okay. See, things happen in mysterious. They say God works in mysterious ways. You butt down. See, that was God saving that man right there. Saving that man because he knew you was trifling. Like you didn't know Don was gonna do that. Grab you. You knew
How
it.
is she trifling?
Cause let me tell you
She
something.
didn't.
She
She did not say anything in that letter about
no,
liking this man or
no,
nothing.
she didn't, but I believe she did. Let me tell you how I know. Because she didn't tell her husband that he was riding with her.
Well,
That's right. Why would she not tell him? Because it was something there already.
Mm.
Yes, it
no,
was.
that doesn't mean
Makes
Oh, I
the
don't
that. That
believe
doesn't
that.
mind
mean
wonder.
that.
I don't
That
believe it.
doesn't mean
I
that.
mean, it may not, but I
I'm
don't
saying
believe it.
because I have male coworkers, and that I'm.
Which-
Oh, Elder! Elder!
Mike's so
Woo! It's getting steamy up in
No,
here.
I have male coworkers, and we ride to conferences together.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that there's something to that.
Right, but she had a husband. Why she didn't tell her husband that they was riding with her? If it's nothing to it.
I mean, it
Mm.
might not have been something that crossed her mind at the time.
Well,
I'm
in the
just giving her
letter,
the benefit of the
she
doubt.
said, I made sure not
Mhm.
to tell my
Oh,
There
husband.
you go.
okay.
She purposely
Okay.
not
She
told
said,
you.
who was riding with me until we got in the car so I could act like I went to the office and the guys just happened to end up
That's
in
Oh,
right.
my
okay.
car.
I'm sorry,
And then she
sis.
said, my plan worked.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I would say. It started off wrong anyway. It don't matter what you do at this point.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you do, because you started off wrong.
Mhm.
So even if you finish it out, you was wrong. Cause like Mike said, that's something that you could not explain how a coworker just walks up to you and
That's
start
right.
kissing. Ain't no coworker just gonna walk up to you and start kissing you if this isn't something that's normal
That's right.
behavior,
That's
or if
right.
there is not some type of work chemistry there.
Something's there
There
already.
is too much. One, there is too much what they call there's too much what they call
Mhm.
HR. You
Mhm.
would be scared to get caught up in something by doing some stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm that'll get you caught up. And
Mhm.
She didn't let her husband know that her work husband.
right,
There it is.
you done messed up anyway.
There it
So
is.
I have to go with Mike on that one.
Mhm.
You messed up from the beginning.
I'm sorry. I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I missed that part.
No,
She
that
purposely
no, she
didn't tell
purposely
him.
did that. And let me tell you something. There's a thing called boundaries. And
Absolutely.
and the reason why she didn't let her husband know is because she knew that was crossing the boundary in the first place.
Exactly.
That was crossing boundary. Yep.
Crossing the
She had
boundary.
previous. Let me tell you something. That ain't the first time he grabbed her butt.
Mm-mm. It ain't the first time he
No,
kissed her neither.
sir.
It ain't the first time
No,
none of that
sir.
occurred.
If he
That
feel,
was just,
if he feel
and y'all can
comfortable,
feel
mhm.
free to
Yes.
to
If y'all
put your
give, if
comments
y'all
in
give
there
y'all
too,
comments,
because we'll read them out.
yes, we'll come
We'll
back with
read
them.
your comments out. I just feel like when you start off like that,
Mhm.
it's hard to recover, and I'm talking from experience because it's easy to kind of make something up, but when you get
Mhm.
caught in it, it's no recovery from that, because no matter what you say at that point, people kind of side eyeing you.
Mhm.
And so I've learned this season in my life how to relationship. A lot of people, we get
Yes.
into relationships, we it's over, so now it's like, who next? It's over with, who next? And then you, after that,
Stop calling, Chris. Go
you
ahead.
you go on with somebody else,
Mhm.
you move on, and what happened?
Yep.
You just say, well, I dealt with this, I ain't dealing with that no more.
Mhm.
You never get to learn how it got there, because you had to play some fault, whether
Some
he
part.
was the one
Some
that
part.
did something
Accountability.
wrong or not.
Exactly.
You have to look at yourself. So that's why this season in my life, I'm trying to learn how to relationship, how to do it right, how to love right, how to take accountability, and how to just be brutally honest, intentional with everything.
Yes.
That's right.
Everything. Mike, what you want to read?
No, I was just reading what Keisha V said. She was agreeing with it. She said, "I'm sorry that was planned." She, she knew that man was crushing on her, and they already had relations, so she got caught telling the truth. And I believe that. I believe that they had some previous interaction, physical interaction. Otherwise, he wouldn't have. No man feels comfortable.
Exactly.
Just
That don't just
right,
happen.
right.
Ain't no man just
Otherwise,
finna walk up and kiss you.
that's sexual harassment.
Right, because you still at work, y'all on a conference
Right,
trip.
exactly. But
That is
And he didn't have to come in the
harassment.
room. He could have left the bags at the door.
that's right.
Yeah, and how he get in the room? What he doing with a key?
Come on, girl. I don't know who you sending this letter to. Come on, who you think you send this letter to?
I ain't even gonna tell y'all the child name, but if this is you, baby,
Yeah.
you done messed it up, and now it's just you just gonna have to really try to repair. I don't know how to tell you to get back from that, but at this point, there's nothing to do but be honest
That's
and
right.
and
Totally.
just let the chips fall where they may, and just pray he forgive you, and you may have to quit your job, girl. I gotta quit because the trust is out the door.
You
Well,
said
now-
that right.
She needs to examine why she even was entertaining him in the first.
That's why I say
Yeah.
people got to learn how to relationship.
Yeah, she got work to do.
If you honest with yourself, sometimes us as women, we're very sensitive. So you got somebody that tell you all the time, man, you know you fine. It start eating at you like, boy, shut up talking to
Maybe
me.
your husband ain't
And the
telling her that.
husband, but see, let me tell you what I've learned. Like I said, I'm learning to relationship.
Mhm.
A lot of things when a man ain't getting it, yeah, he gonna tell you everything he want to tell you. He gonna say everything from A to Z. Baby, look at your hair. Oh, look at your smile. Look at your skin, so pretty. I bet you he ain't doing this. I bet. And the husband is the provider. Yeah, he may not be saying something, but I bet he doing a whole lot of something.
Yeah.
I bet you behind the
She wouldn't have
closed
married him
doors,
if he wasn't.
if it let your car run out of gas. I
Yeah.
bet you the one that's calling you cutie, sweetheart. I bet you he ain't the one gonna come.
Ooh,
But the husband, he gonna get up out the bed,
that's right.
leave work, come put some gas in your car, may complain, may do that and some.
If you get stranded, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because what we'll do is that women will get caught up in the moment of how things sound, how good something look for the moment. And forget about the long haul, forget about that man who been there with you in the trenches.
That's right.
When all the chips was down, when the rubber met the road. I've
Mhm.
been the one holding you down. Don't forget that. And we'll let little arguments or he didn't want to do nothing last night. He was acting lazy. He didn't want to take me to Golden Corral.
Wow.
All that little petty stuff.
Hold the corral.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you
Not to
something.
go to
They
corral.
they have this way higher than that. They won't even let you take them to the Cheesecake Factory no more.
But those things we got to be. I'm conscious about and intentional this season in my life. I'm intentional. I wanna do it the right way, and I don't want to get sidetracked just by somebody telling me, "Oh, you cute. Oh, look at him, girl. Look at his
Pay attention to
muscles."
what they do, not
And
what
you get
they
all
say.
caught up in the wrong stuff, then you'll wind up missing out on something really good just for something temporary. It ain't even worth it. But let's do this real quick, y'all. Let's go back down memory lane real quick before we get into the hot topics of some old school stuff. So y'all just start naming. I was just thinking when Mother's Day passed, and I was thinking about my grandmother. I was thinking about all this old stuff. Do y'all remember, like in the old school? Maybe y'all not from where I'm from, but I'm sure y'all could relate. Y'all had a screen door.
Yes.
Yes.
That door, that little screen door before you get in the house.
And it had the most irritating
Sound.
slam.
Oh man,
Slam out. Stop running in out my door. You know, that's what your grandma was saying. If you either stay in or you stay, you're out. You can't be running in and out of my house.
Mike, that was that word. You can't be ripping and running through here.
Right, ripping and
Ripping, what's ripping and running? You can't be ripping and running through this house. Stay in or stay out.
tracking all that dirt in my house.
That's why they had that flow runner. Y'all remember that flow runner with this little spikes at the bottom?
Boy, don't let that thing be turned on the wrong side.
Oh, and then you did. Mike, have y'all ever moved it and you see it's the clean spot and the dirty
The
spot?
rest of the carpet.
Put that net back, line it back up on that carpet.
Line it back up.
Y'all remember? Did y'all have that wooden fork and spoon in y'all kitchen?
Oh, you mean
That wooden, that's them big
hung
tall ones. You had them little brown.
That you hang on
Yeah.
the wall.
Yeah.
Y'all had that?
Uh-huh.
Did y'all have that bowl of plastic fruit?
bowl of plastic.
No,
My
It
grandmother,
was
not a bowl
fake
of
my
fruit.
grandmother had it. She had it. The grapes,
Yeah,
the grapes, and
the apple,
the yellow
banana.
The
Yeah.
It was
the
it
banana
was
was
fake.
extra yellow, but it was plastic. It was plastic.
Never
Uh,
lost its color.
Look, have y'all had them cookies in that blue
And that-
tin
oh my
can?
God.
Oh my God.
They
But
each
them-
get
them-
like
them the
4
best-
of 'em.
Them the best cookies though.
Them cookies,
Them the best
look,
cookies.
after we done with them, didn't your mama
Every
use it for
time-
coins
That's
and
what I say.
mail?
No, that was that's where you got all of the needles.
Yeah,
sewing
the
and
thread.
the sewing thread. That's what that was in there.
You wanted a little change, go look in that tin can and get you a dime out of there.
Yes. Oh my God.
Not a dime.
Yeah, girl, a dime back then to buy you a pack of nail laters.
Hey, why every grandmother have one of them carpets on the wall with Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, and his brother? What's his name? John Kennedy. Yeah, not
The
John
carpet
Kennedy.
Was Malcolm X on that too?
No, not
Uh-uh,
Malcolm X.
uh-uh.
It was John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and Kennedy's brother.
I remember that,
his-
though.
Robert. There you go, Robert Kennedy. All on that carpet.
That was everybody that had the Lord Supper.
Oh, my
Everybody
God.
had that picture.
Man.
And then did y'all have them beads that
I was
separate
just
the
finna say
kitchen
that. My
from
grandma-
that
my
living room? Them
great-grandma
loud
still had
beads.
them beads.
Oh my God.
You separate had to go through them to get in the kitchen.
That's definitely a
Y'all
70s thing.
remember?
My grandma
That's
still
definitely a
had those
70s
beads
thing.
hanging up
What
there.
about them porcelain dolls and them dogs? Them
Those
little,
things used
Them
to
that
scare
spooky.
me.
Weird, spooky.
and them piggy banks back then. Oh, wasn't no flipping them over going through. You had to break
Oh,
them.
no, you
They
had
they
to
was
break 'em.
they was plaster.
Yeah, that's the only way you can
Them
get to
hard piggy banks.
Mm-hmm.
You was careful, and then you start chipping at the top of it so you could try to get down there.
Put a quarter in my piggy bank, son. Thank you.
And do you know I watched this commercial with a rotary phone. They
Oh.
asked the kid if you could call this phone number on this phone, I'd give you
They didn't know how-
$100.
they didn't know how
He
to
could
use it.
not use. He didn't know how to
He did not
use the
use the
rotary
rotary
Like,
phone.
phone.
What's that?
He picked it up and hung it up. Okay,
Oh
dial.
my God.
We don't have to
You know
dial
what? And a
773.
lot of these kids, they don't know what a dial tone even
No,
sound
they
like.
don't know what it
No.
sounds
Yeah,
like.
you know what? They don't know when you left the phone off the hook after
It's
a certain
saying
amount.
that beep 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 beep. Yep, yep. Remember, have y'all? I don't know about y'all house. Y'all had a day bed in the living room.
A day bed.
A day bed.
That's when company came
No.
over.
We had a day bed, but now they have them like them little trundles be underneath it. That's how they have them now. But when we had it was just one big day bed in the living room.
Wow.
We didn't have a day bed.
Y'all had your mama had a Crown Royal bag,
Not
mother-
my mama.
My parents.
kept
was very-
pennies.
My parents was very
I
spiritual.
was gonna say not my mama.
And saved and sanctified. So they didn't
Did
allow
y'all
that.
get a pair of them old school skates? Remember them skates? You put your feet in there and you put the front. You have to push the front
Oh.
up and push the back and,
My-
and
Yeah, I had those.
My
strap it
parents were
around
so
your ankle.
spiritual we couldn't even skate.
Oh man,
Yeah,
Mike.
man, it was rough.
Sorry, Mike.
As a kid, did you have one of them books with the CD? Y'all had
Books with
the
CDs.
books
No,
that
I
come with a
didn't have
book.
that.
Y'all never had that. It's a
Mm-mm.
children book and it come with a CD.
I
Have y'all?
I don't know.
Mike,
No, I don't- I
y'all
don't
making me
think I
feel
did.
super old.
What
It's
was
a
on the
little
CD? The
children
book?
book, and it was a CD, and it would play what was in the book. Y'all have
I
seen?
missed that.
Did y'all have seen say where you pull the string and it go around to
Oh,
the
yeah,
cow?
definitely. I had that. Yeah,
Moo.
my favorite sound was the horse. I would just put it on the horse because I like the horse. Put it on the horse.
Do y'all remember this game though? Head down, thumbs
Thumbs
up.
up.
It's
Uh-oh.
time to play.
7
up.
up.
7 up.
I remember that game.
And remember, I used to look down at their feet. If I see what shoes you got
Then
on,
you know.
Yeah.
I know who it is.
Yeah, but they was allowed to see if you was peeking, so they could easily go under there and see. look
Duck,
and see if
duck,
you was- yeah.
goose.
Oh
Y'all
my
play
God,
that? Duck, duck,
yes.
goose.
Duck, duck, goose. See, this was before we had video
Video
games, and we
Yeah.
made up our own stuff: hopscotch, red light,
Rock,
green
rock,
light.
paper, scissors.
Man, yes.
Yes, rock teacher.
Mhm.
Hey, y'all remember when y'all got them cassette tapes? Y'all will put some tissue or some paper at the top
Oh
so
my
you could
God.
record over it.
Yes. because they
did
put
that
the
plenty
thing.
of nights.
Was it?
WGCI.
Yes.
And then y'all hate it when they get to talk. It's like, hurry up so I can record the song.
Yes.
You had that record and play button down and that pause.
And they'll come on and
Hush.
say,
Like, soon as they
WGCI
and
from
then,
such.
then the
Like,
song come on right after they shut up. They don't want you to record. That's why they talk until the voice come in. I used to hate that. Remember when y'all back in the day, y'all voicemails, y'all be playing some sexy music in the background. Tell me when will I see you smile again? Hey, what's up? This Chica. You you reached the right number, but at the wrong time.
Wrong time.
You could call me back if you want to talk. Tell me when will
I didn't have a phone back then. So.
you had a pager.
I had a pager. But,
Remember, then you need a quarter to get to the payphone to call them back. And men was so mean, they would text you, and they would send you a text on a pager.
Yep.
Being mean.
Well.
304.
Oh.
I remember that stuff. I say, you joker, you better be glad I ain't got no quarter to call you back.
Yeah, I had a big, but it didn't ring much though.
Oh,
Yeah,
I would have
Oh,
called you,
Mike.
Mike. You my friend.
Nobody used to always look down there like somebody was calling me. Nobody calling me.
False
Uh,
friend, you know, that's what they used to call me.
I was trying to be important.
Two-way pages.
had the biggest beep on you, man.
That's silly.
Ain't nobody calling.
Let me tell y'all, have y'all noticed it's some strange things? And I'm gonna say this before we get into our hot topic. When the waiter takes your order, you then become the waiter.
The waiter. Is that a paradox? Would you consider that a paradox?
After a waiter waits on you,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you then become the waiter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you notice that?
No, I never have.
Why do they call a building and it's already built? That could you answer that though?
Yes, building.
Why do you call a building that's already built a building? You're no longer building it.
So what should it be called?
A built.
A bu-
We're building a built. Yes, we're building a built. That doesn't make better sense.
Hey, we're gonna go down here and check out some of these builts.
Yeah.
You know?
What builts?
That's a
My
nice
my
built.
cousins,
That's a nice
they're
built.
building a built.
Yeah, that's a nice built right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, or does that make sense? Doesn't it make better sense?
Yes. It's not the Willis Tower built, it's the Sears Tower built.
And look, why does food get cold but drinks get warm?
Okay.
Think
Food
about
get
that.
cold.
But drinks get warm. If you leave them out, they'll get warm. If you leave food out, it gets
I
what?
see what you're saying. But technically, they really reach the same temperature coming from a different place. We just say those things. It's really
Well, Mike,
they are really just
Interesting.
room
listen to
temperature.
this one.
Uh-huh.
Why do they call them apartments? And they're close
They're
together. Apartments. But they're so close together.
Oh, that's cute.
If
That's
tomato is considered a fruit, is ketchup a smoothie? I mean, listen.
It's more to a ketchup than tomato, I believe.
Okay, if babies are in the womb for 9 months, why aren't they 9 months when they come in the world?
You know what? I've always felt that.
Yeah.
Now I've thought about that.
Too.
But why then? Why? Answer, please.
Well, I'll tell you why I believe that
Okay.
is because they can't really measure when you was conceived by that child, because then that would be your actual birthday. But you can't really measure if
Still
you got
doesn't make
pregnant
sense, does
this
it?
particular day or that particular day.
If I can feed a village for 80 cents a month,
Right.
why is child support so high?
Oh my God.
Because they eating rice.
Because all you're doing is feeding. Because all you're doing is feeding them. You're not clothing them.
Oh God.
You're not housing them. You're just feeding them.
Rice and
Okay,
water.
well then, how come your lips don't touch when you say touch, but they touch when you say separate? And people at home, you're trying it. You're saying touch.
I was mentally
touch.
trying it. I was
I'm
mentally
sure,
doing it.
I'm sure somebody is trying it.
And why does fingers have fingertips? What does toes have? Toe tips?
Toe tips.
Yeah, toe tips. We just don't call it that.
I guess.
Wow.
And hey, have you
Oh.
noticed? Do anybody have a pen? I want to show you guys something. And then we're going to move on to our topic.
People don't use pens nowadays anymore.
I kind of do. I use it.
phone.
I have one.
I was just thinking about that today. I was using the pen to sign in. I said, man, people don't use pens.
What they use?
Really?
Their
Yeah, what do
phones.
they use?
They just use their phones mostly to communicate. And the iPads and computers and emails and stuff.
Have you ever noticed that the word bed actually looks like a bed?
I never noticed that. I never noticed that.
Headboard, footboard. I mean, really.
Where did you get this stuff?
Right.
You guys see this?
Where did you get this from?
Right.
I mean, when you think about stuff, like how we do things and we
When you
we don't think
stuff
about it.
after you done.
Yeah, sometimes you sit alone and you're just like when you trip over something and you look back, like the floor is at fault because you tripped. We do that. Or have you ever been so embarrassed, Mike, you're waving, hey, and then somebody else is waving and you're not waving at them,
Yes.
and they're like, hey.
I can see somebody like the book of Psalms.
No, I'm just going back.
Why is the P silent? It say Psalms. Wouldn't it be called Psalms? You know what I'm saying?
Psalms or Job is Jobs.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So, of course, we have a few little hot topics here, right?
Come on, hot topics.
The one I want to talk about, and I know it's not brand new, it's two of them. So there's a video circulating now, right? It's a little girl. They're in New York, and I know y'all seen the video. Mike, could you pull it up? It's a girl in New York. A little girl in New York. The mom got
right.
the police stopped the mother because they said she stole some glasses. The girl probably wasn't no more than 6 or 7. And I mean, she is going off like an adult. She say, leave my mother effing mama alone. I'ma kill somebody.
She told the police officer.
She's telling these cops that leave her. And I mean, she's standing on it. And then you know what was shocking was that a lot of people was applauding her. I want to get y'all feedback on that. She looked like she was no more than maybe 6 or 7.
Okay.
Toya, give me your feedback on that. Let me see.
Yeah, see if you can find it.
Well, I haven't watched the video, so
Yeah, I
I've
guess
seen a clip of it, but I haven't watched the full video.
But she was telling the police officer to leave my
Yes.
mother alone. And how was the police officer handling?
They wasn't saying anything to the little girl. They was like trying to calm her a little bit. They was like, okay, well, she don't feel nothing. I said, well, they didn't took at some point they had put the mother in the car.
Did she do it?
They not according to how the police was describing her, because they said she had long braids, white t-shirt, and this mom had on like a white dress, and she had her hair in like a ponytail.
She could have had on a wig.
Well, I will say you can't really blame. I mean, first of all, if this is a young child, it's how they perceive things. And as me growing up, I've never ever perceived the police to be a good thing. Never. Right. If you saw the police, something bad was gonna happen. And
okay, this is it, Mike. I'm trying
wait,
to.
wait, you know what? My headphones.
Okay, let me turn his headphones off so y'all can hear this little mom.
For it.
Let me see.
Oh wow.
A gray top, and she had a duffel bag. The CV gave a description of a female black.
What? She stole something at the store?
Now they're saying.
Did I steal from Mount Clear? Mommy, I know who it was. What classes did I steal? Stop recording it now. You should not be recording it without our permission. For my safety, thank you. My aunt stole glasses. It wasn't her. You should have a white T-shirt on. No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
No. My
Okay.
Okay.
I have a lot. Okay, I have a lot now that I've seen the video.
Now you see the video, Toya. What say you?
I don't agree with her language. Um, it's clearly a reflection of what she's seen. Um, but I don't disagree with her if she feels that the cops are. If that's what she's seen growing up in her neighborhood, that the cops are not good, and she said, "I seen who did it."
She said her auntie did.
Oh,
She threw auntie under the bus. Auntie Judy, get back here. That's who stole them glasses.
I mean, they didn't have her in handcuffs, so I think.
Oh, they did. They
at
put her
some
in
point, but
the car.
not at that point.
Yeah, at that point. Mike,
I-
what say you?
All right, first of all, okay, I've been looking at the video. I think as a kid, I would be too scared to even speak out like that. You know what I'm saying? I understand that she was defending her mother and saying that, but I mean, she was really, the mother wasn't even trying to calm her down.
Right.
Wasn't even trying to, and I'm trying to figure out why is the mother not saying that to her, like, calm down, baby, it's okay, whatever. It's almost like the mother gave her the permission to act out that way. So I think she have done this before. She's used, and I think, and oh boy, I don't want to get in no trouble because you can't hardly tell nothing. You can't hardly tell parents about their kids no more. But I don't think kids should have certain liberties as kids. I think kids, I do believe in a kid should stay in a kid's place. This was a grown-up matter. And because it was a grown-up matter, that little girl should not have been saying that. They wasn't mistreating her. They wasn't putting their hands on her. They were detaining her, which they have a right to do. Okay, so this little girl may be perceiving something else, and it should have been the mother's responsibility to protect that child and make that child understand. Listen, you calm down. This is something that we're supposed to have. We're supposed to deal with, and so I don't really I'm not really for the child really being that way. But they weren't, because they wasn't mistreated. They weren't doing nothing to the mother.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do anything to her.
And like you just said, wrong or right, it could have went differently. You never know what could happen, but your big mouth can get you in a lot of trouble.
Right.
And so, like you were saying, the mother wasn't saying nothing to the daughter.
You just letting her just holler like that. You don't do that.
Mother effing, even using letters. Just shut up and shut your. And the mama speaking to the cops like she got some sense. It's the daughter, the one. And you should not want this to be something that the world is seeing. To defend me, the way you defend me is you sit back. You stand in front of your mama, you stand with your mother, and you just say, you hold your mama hand.
Well, you do, you do what your mother say do. See, this is the issue of when you try to be your child's friend. Because that she don't act like a daughter, she's acting like that's her girlfriend. Because that's what a girlfriend would do. Stand up and defend your friend, not your child. You know what I'm saying? And that's a shame.
Stop recording. They didn't give you permission.
And the fact that she can do that at that age, imagine what she gonna be like when she get teenager. You ain't gonna be able to tell her nothing. Nobody ain't gonna be telling. That's the law.
Teaching her that is okay.
Right. That's the law.
Now I'm all for
come on, man.
Expressing, even as a child, to express your feelings and how you feel, but there's a way to do it. And if you teach them the right way to do it, you can say, I used to tell people all the time, my child cannot tell me, you can express how you feel, but you better do it in a way that
you don't come even today, my daughter, kind of got busy with me, and then they use this word, I'm not a kid. I say, when you get older each year, what you think happened to me? What you think? Absolutely. I go down, I'm Benjamin Button. I grow. And you will always be a kid to me. I don't care how old you get. I'm still your mother. And there is never a way that you can express yourself to me disrespectfully. I don't care what you say. You want to talk to me, you can talk to me. You can tell me how you feel. But when you get to disrespecting me, oh, Jesus.
Because if she's doing it to them, she definitely at some point will or have already done it.
Oh, yeah.
You got it. You definitely
I'm sure she probably go to the school and talk to the teacher and she have her own perception of what she feel is right and wrong. and that ain't always good.
Yeah, big sassy. I mean, and she was just jazzy with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's just the way that you
Yeah.
just want to conduct
She's out
yourself.
of place. That little
Out of
girl was out of
These young
place.
parents nowadays, they think it's cute.
Yeah, because they trying
They
to be
think it's
friends.
Yeah, they try to
I
be
ain't trying to
Ain't
friends.
be
nothing
your
cute about
friend.
that.
You
Right.
got a generation that you came up with. Them your friends. I'm
And
in a whole
they have
nother
they
world.
have a problem in the downtown area where all these young people come downtown. And I think they've gotten it more under control. But I know last year during the summer they will all come downtown and they would vandalize and the snatch and grab and
Yeah.
all this stuff. Young people. I mean, when
Mhm.
I say young people, I'm talking about
Jumping on
teenagers.
cars.
But
I
and
forgot what they
right.
call it.
And I think this is the product of that kind of parenting. That
Mhm.
we got to be careful with this, what I call soft parenting.
Yes.
Sometimes you can get too soft. And oh boy, now I'm finna really get in trouble. And it used to be a time where kids was turning out bad because the father wasn't present. But
Mm.
now I feel like they're turning out bad because the mothers is present or too much present, and because that's who is influencing them. That's that is who has the influence now. You see what I'm saying? Sure, fathers being absent, but my thing is, I mean, we could debate about it all day long. Which one is worse, the father being absent or the mother being present and having influence?
Enabling.
That's right, enabling.
Yeah, and the thing is that I talked about this before, how women would do better by just having men that they support rather than, yeah, I'm taking you to court. I'm taking you, and I'm not saying that some of them do need to be paying child support, but some of them, women ain't giving them no fair shake.
None.
It's like, nah, you gotta pay. If you don't give us no money, you ain't gonna be able to see your kid. And which would be worse? And look, I'll tell you now, I'm not a fan of Dorothy Brown because I always said, they say if men don't pay child support, you can go to jail. Now how in the world I'm gonna see the kid? They gonna suspend your license. Now how I'm gonna go pick the jokers up?
How you gonna pay?
You making me worse. You helping me become a deadbeat daddy. You making me worse. Women, they don't have to say nothing. Go home with your mama. Men have to prove that you unfit in order for them to even let a judge hear them. And I mean, you got to be unfit. I mean, you can't have no job. You got to be out on the street. You got to be on some meth or something. It got to be really something wrong with you if a judge say get him to custody. Now, if it fair shake, what they'll do is say both of y'all take care of the kid and go on somewhere. But the man still got to fight and wrestle with the woman because she want her way. No, pick him up at 6. You come at 6:01. He late. It's like
Mad.
men, and I feel sorry for them. They've never had it. Woman gets Section 8, let a man try to come stay up in there. Section 8 getting taken from her. Let him come bring a shoe up in there. Whose shoe is that?
Yeah.
That's too big for your feet. You got a man in here, you gonna get your Section 8 taken away.
Well, you know what? That rabbit hole, I mean, runs deep because the system is really not designed to bring families together.
No.
It's really designed
No.
to tear us apart.
That's,
What's that? Tara Durham.
yeah.
Children need present mothers, now bad
Not, I think she mean not bad
influences
and
are different. Men can fight for rights now, so it's
no excuse.
Well, yes, men can fight for rights, but they shouldn't have to. But let me tell you this: is that the rabbit hole, the system is designed to break up families. So I believe a lot of this is designed. Yes, a lot of it is going against the men, but it's really going against the family. Because if the men don't have no say so in the household or whatsoever, and we let the government do it, then we're going to get exactly what we've been reaping. All right. And it's I don't care what you say, it's important for both parents to raise a child. And if you don't do that, if you've been, and I know we like to wear the badge, I know women like to wear the badge of honor that you raised your kids by yourself, and I could really poke holes all in that, but I ain't gonna do that. But here's the thing: even if you raise your kids by yourself without a man, your kid still was raised at a deficit. And I'm gonna tell you where it shows up at. It shows up when they try to have relationships. That's where it shows up. It may not show up in school because they can go to school and get a good education. They can go and make a good living for themselves. But the real challenge is when they try to have a relationship with someone else, because you need really both parents to give the skills that they need to be able to have a successful. And to me, that's the real attack, is the family, is the idea of the family. So many other things that's breaking out, that's happening, that tear up that dynamic.
It is.
That's how I see it.
True.
So we,
and
I mean,
it's sad.
I mean, that's a
Because
real
that's what
rabbit
a
hole
lot of
to
people,
go
when
down.
you look at a lot of situations like that, like this woman out here, no man probably is even present, because she want, you know, you would have, but because she said on one part, you would have heard her say, "On my daddy." You know, it's like, where he at? It's a dead, or you know, or you don't know.
Yeah.
I put that on my daddy. Usually they be gone on. So it's like, baby, it's a world out here you don't even want to face.
Man, let me tell you.
Wake up quickly. So we got one more little topic. We gonna have to just hit this one and quit it.
Really?
Keon, Pastor Keon.
Who is that?
Hey, you, get her. Hush.
Oh God.
Hush. Hush. The only voice I want to hear is the Spirit of God. You are His choice.
No.
That's what he did. He said, "Hush." Only voice I want to hear is the Spirit of God. You are the... So, Mike, him hushing. Him hushing. What do you say about that? Hush.
Okay. I have a lot of ways of how it's perceived. Okay. But if I want to be political or spiritually correct, the Bible does says the spirit is subject to the prophet. That's regardless of whatever's happening. I don't. If the Bible said that, that means God is saying I respect order. That means even if I'm trying to move, if the pastor get up and stop it, he has a right to do that. Now, I don't know. I can't judge that situation. I feel that's a sensitive subject because there are people that do come to church and do things that are distracting. And it is the pastor's job to set things in order. And it's the pastor's job to be able to discern whether this is the spirit of God or if this is another spirit at work. And I've seen those things happen. I've seen people come in off the street and they was drunk. And they was drunk and they started doing things in the church.
She was in the choir.
Well, yeah, she was in the choir, but I'm just saying, but it's his job to have that discernment. So it's his job. So I can't say, because I'm not him. He's the leader of the house. And I do feel like some of
Mike,
it.
let me ask you a question real
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
This is your shepherd and you his sheep. And in order, and I'm gonna say this because you just said order. Now let me tell you, the order happen.
Don't hush or snap on me. Go ahead.
No, because when you say order, there is the order of service. Is that pre-service or during service?
What the service is?
The order of service is always established when?
Before service.
Prior.
Right.
Prior.
That's right.
So what was she doing up there? Order what should have been established prior to her being on the mic.
Yep. And I heard them say this is not the first time. This has been a 4-year issue that they have dealt with that lady, with that particular lady.
Well, Wink say don't hush, or
she
what?
said Wink said don't hush or snap at me.
Man, listen.
It could have been done another way.
First of all, and see, that isn't of God, because God said, with love and kindness have I what?
Drawn you.
Drawn me. And the Bible even says, make a joyful what?
noise unto the Lord.
Noise ain't pleasant to me. And it didn't say make a joyful noise to Keon or to your pastor.
Well,
It said make a joyful noise unto what?
but if it
And I
said, but if it's a joyful noise, if he said joyful noise, then it has to be a
noise is what?
unjoyful noise too.
What does noise mean though? What is the definition of noise? It's a racket. Noise is also what? A distraction. Noise is not pleasant, but it ain't for you. It's for God. I have had people that is worshiping and will just scream out, and it'll like, oh Jesus, but it ain't for me.
But who's to discern that?
Well, let me tell you this: it would have went better had he did it. Why he had to do it on the mic, and then not only after he did it on the mic, then he goes onto a social platform to even degrade her further. She been doing this. I talked to her. Is this the way? Imagine my father.
Well,
He reprimand me, then he gets on TV and expose me like that.
okay, let's put it in perspective here.
Mhm. Go for it. Go for
He he went on the platform, and I don't know if his intention was to degrade her, but I'm sure everybody that saw that came at him like, why are you doing that, blah blah blah. So that was his way of probably maybe defending the fact, y'all think I'm just picking on this lady come here every Sunday and she do the
it.
same
And you know
thing
what? And it made him
at
look
the
silly. It
same
made him look
time.
bad because you know what I said. If she doing that every Sunday, where your power? Where's your power that this woman is still in the same position every Sunday doing this? Every Sunday, if she is hollering like this every Sunday, where's your power? Why haven't you identified the situation? Why haven't you been able to pull what's in her
see,
out?
we don't really know the full story because now when you what you
Child, I
just
don't-
said that it could have been a situation where she has been set down.
Well,
And this was maybe the Sunday that she was let back up there.
Well, I will say, I mean,
and
listen,
did
like
it
I said,
again.
and then
But if he had order, then he would have had
Right.
somebody else
I
to
can't-
have done
I
that,
can't-
not on no mic.
I can't judge no pastor. I'm gonna tell you that right
Because
now.
if that was your mama,
I can't. I
you'd
cannot
have looked at
judge.
that differently.
I can't judge no pastor, but I will say this: it is his ultimate responsibility to have dealt with that or to deal with that, and how he deals with it. I think it's left up to God to judge him on that, because
Well, I would say this because the Bible do says about judging, but the Bible also says judge ye righteously. So there is correction that you can. That's not calling judgment. That's called right correction. And I'm not going to say nothing against anybody that I do not say behind scripture base. So I wouldn't say, even just like when they were saying he was probably not talking to her, it was probably the demon in her. I said you can't use that as an illustration because when Paul did that in Acts, he spoke to the demon, not the girl. He said, "Come out of her." And if he was speaking to a spirit, you don't tell the spirit to hush. Tell the spirit, get out of here. You don't dwell in here. You don't be pleasant with the spirit. You tell them, get out of here. You gotta go. It was just and it was so many different things that I saw in this. The Bible says all the things that you can say when it comes to in relations to dealing with God's people. He it's just that's just even like when I was telling y'all earlier that pastor was preaching on Sunday and he said on this church where I build my church, and so many of these pastors now they treat it as their church and not God's church. So a lot of these pastors they get up there they saying what they because right after he said that and maybe if he was right and the only voice you wanted to hear was God, then why did you start singing? Why didn't you hush too?
well, maybe
Because he can't hear, you can't hear God over her, but you can hear him over you. If you want to hear something, you want everything hushed. You gonna turn that TV down?
Well, I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna say this now because I know
What
a
did
lot.
Tara say?
I know a
Read
lot
that
of people. I
comment.
know a lot of people think that they should have dealt it another different way, whatever. But there is a scripture in the Bible that says open rebuke is better than secret love. Okay, there is a scripture in the Bible that says that. Now, why that would be in the Bible, I will believe is
You go back some because the open rebuke happened because of what? Not because somebody was praising God. Not because someone was praising God.
Well,
That woman wasn't cursing at nobody. She wasn't. She was saying it was just distracting to him. That's what it was. At that point, I can't hear myself. I'm trying to sing a song. I'm getting off key because you louder than me. It was about him. And if it wasn't about him, he wouldn't have had to go on no social platform and tell the world. He would have went to that woman, look, this is what, and he would have, if he came and said anything before anybody, he would have said, it's been dealt with. Why would you further go humiliate this mother,
well,
this auntie, this sister, this wife? You don't know who she is. Why would you further humiliate her by saying, I didn't talk to her, they didn't talk to her? No, you should have it been handled. I don't owe you no explanation. We dealt with it my house have dealt with it.
well, I will say this. I'm not a pastor. Okay. And if you've never been a pastor, if you never been in that kind of vein before, I mean, it's easy to sit back and say what he should have. I just don't feel comfortable in saying.
Exactly. Who is that? They said she wasn't the
said
only one
Tara.
talking.
Yeah. Tara said, I don't know about the pastor's actions. That was a bit much, but sometimes people can be a bit much.
It can. I've seen it.
Ronell Madison, she wasn't the only one talking.
No,
Mhm.
it was a lot of people run and imagine if it wasn't her and it was somebody else that was in one of your guests.
But I do
What you
know.
gonna tell the guests? Get out of here. We don't do that in this church. Worship somewhere else. People saying you can't do that because he made a horrible example. Gonna say if they did that in the studio, you'd put them out. Well, that's here. Because if I go to work and I go there smoking a cigarette, then I'm gonna probably get fired too. Because that's my job policy. This ain't work. This church. If I can't praise him nowhere else, I ought to be able to praise him here. So stop making it seem like she was out of order at that, because now he's making it seem like she was just completely out of order. It was just done so poorly because even if you bring it order, there is a way to do it, and you would not be snapping your fingers telling me to hush to say something to me, even if I'm at work. And if Mike does something out of order on the job, dare your boss to say something in front of everybody. No, you pull me in office and you tell me. You don't get in front of, hey, you ain't did your work. I'm suspending you for 3 days. And he do it in front of everybody.
Okay, well,
Well, but see, you can't. I understand your analogy, but I don't. Somebody being distracted in the service for 4 years is a long time.
Well, then that's his problem.
It may be. It is definitely is his problem. And let me tell you something. Nobody's perfect. Everybody have dealt with issues, wrong ways. None of us handle everything just right. And he could have gotten frustrated by it, and he could have maybe said what he said. But the aspect I'm saying this from is from a aspect of leadership. He's the leader, so he can do that. And she have a right that if she don't like it, not to continue to go there, and anybody else. But at the end of the day, he is the leader. So everybody that feels like, well, he shouldn't have did that. I know you won't be going to his church or subscribing to his channel.
But Mike, what I'm saying in even a latter term, that's just like a parent. As a parent, I'm not always right.
No, you're not.
Because I'm your parent, it don't make I gotta be accountable too.
Who's there to always? Who's there? You don't have the world there to check you either.
No, but look, the thing is that that's why God gives us peers and each other, because we do need to be accountable, and it's not bad for somebody else to say, "Hey, check yourself." The Bible said that if I offend you with my right arm, what should I do? Cut it.
Cut it off.
You're right. If it offends you, not that I was wrong, but if I just offended you.
Well, we don't
So
know
even
if
if
they
it's
had a talk,
offensive-
and if somebody done went to him and checked him and said, "Hey, you was kind of out of line with that." We don't know.
And
We may
that's
just be
true.
expecting
I'm
a
gonna say
public
this.
apology.
The only
from
reason,
him.
the only reason this has gotten the attention that it's gotten is because it was seen on TV or got out there stream. But I'm gonna tell you, I have grew up in churches. Where it was way worse than that. In fact, it wouldn't even be the pastor that would do it. Sometimes it'd be the church mothers that would come over there and set you down because they felt that you were moving in some spirit that was not pertaining to God. And this is why this is so sensitive to me. is because if we lose and kill the leadership of the church, then what kind of church do we have? Somebody has to be able to have authority to know, regardless of how we feel, have the authority to say, okay, this is what direction we're going and this is what we're going to do. We can't let the
But what
people
type
do
of
that.
authority? Because if I listen to one of, and he's one of my favorite speakers all the way around, Minister Louis Farrakhan, he can be as brutal and say a lot of things. I never see him degrading his own. I never see him pinpointing out.
And you don't see nobody up in there being distracted because he got
Oh
them,
yeah, they do.
because he
They
got
do.
because he got them bodyguards up in
They
there
be up
that
there.
will escort you right
They
on
be-
out.
But see who do it though. But see who do it. You see who do it.
Well, again, at the end of the day, it for some
You have
people
to
it was
be-
right. For some people it was wrong.
He could have.
Some people
He
accepted
could
that.
have.
Some
Now,
people felt it.
the only thing I would agree with you on, is that he could have dealt with it a different way. But
Yes.
he had every right to stop her and whatever in whatever way. But maybe the only thing I can say, yeah, he could have done. He could have had one of his associates to go over there and whatever. But I think the way he did it himself, and then she was a woman on top of that, and it's a lot of things that goes into play that we have a perception of. You know what I'm saying?
And I think about also David. Well, who would have put David out? David danced out his clothes.
Right. What
Then who would have put David out? And that's why I say people,
David wasn't in no church. He wasn't in no church.
It doesn't matter.
Right. Well, if you ain't in nobody's church, you can do what you want to do. You go out and scream, and you can go out and scream and holler and do whatever you want to do.
When the presence of the Lord is present, it's
That's
present.
Right.
And that's my only thing. It's just that, and that's what happened, is that so many of these pastors, authoritative, it's like even police, they get authoritative, and once they get a taste of it, it's like stop. They feel that they not like even police. It's not about the law. It's what I say. They'll stop you. Give me your ID for what? Because I said so. No, you don't just tell me that. You don't just get my ID because you said. But they get over authoritative because they're in these positions. And some of these pastors do the same thing. They get in certain positions and they forget that it's not about them.
Yeah.
That it's about God, and they make it solely about them.
Yeah, but
and then they become very like voice, and it's they'll do a whole. And it's just
but people,
churches ain't like it used to be.
Who empowers the pastors? The people. The people do. Let me tell you something.
Money do.
No, people.
Money.
People, and where the money come from? The people.
Yeah.
So
but it's the people that's giving money.
Right. So
it's still money.
So the people empowers the pastor. If the people stop going to church, could the pastor be a pastor? No. But they go there.
I agree.
If they go there for a reason. Okay, so you don't have. So we could talk about the pastors as much as we want to, but if the people was going there, there's nothing you can really say. What you gonna say?
Well, people go where the crowd is. People ain't a lot of people. It used to be a time where storefront churches didn't have music. They would still go. Now it's a little different because now they got foam, the fog lights and praise dancers and rappers coming down the aisle like it's a boxing match. It has become a circus at some of these churches. They playing rap music and get down low. Everything is happening now. There is no structure in church, no way. So when you say, "Oh, back in my day," yeah, back in our day, a lot of generational curses wasn't broken, and a lot of stuff I learned. I'm trying to unlearn, finding out that they was wrong. So it ain't even about that. It's about standing on what's valid and what's right, and I want to stand for what's right. And I don't care if that means that I got to challenge authority.
Well, at the end of the day, as long as he made it right with her, nobody else's opinion matters about that. If somebody pulled him to the side, or even if he thought about it on his own and was like, okay, I was out of line, I probably could have handled that differently. If he went to her and had a conversation with her and worked through that issue and talked to her and apologized, nobody
never
else
said that'll be.
But we don't know if that happened.
But that's bad that we don't know. We know that we know all of the garbage behind it.
The situation is not between us. all of us. The situation, he didn't put that on.
Toya,
He didn't
how
put
did
that
we
on.
get
But I'm
involved?
saying he didn't put that on camera. Somebody was
Cause
recording.
he did it on camera. He knew they
But
was recording. He could have filtered it, and he could have shut his mouth. He didn't have to go on Tamron Hall. He went on Tamron Hall, so he further engaged us
but
by going on TV,
what I'm
furthering
saying
it.
is, as long as he has made it right with that young lady, if she even, we don't even know if she felt offended because
Well,
she
I'm
ain't
only
said
going
nothing.
on what
Yeah,
I
right.
know.
That's another
We
I
thing.
ain't
don't even
going
know if
Have
off
she
of
have
felt
we heard
offended.
from the young lady at
no,
all?
and
And
which
we
is the
don't,
right
and we don't
thing.
even really know who she is.
Which is the right thing to do.
Right. So how could it be?
Hush.
But
How
we
could
I
it be?
can't say nothing. That's why I can't say nothing about her
Right.
because I have nothing to go off.
Right.
I
She
have
haven't said
something,
anything.
and I knew it. I have something to go off concerning him.
True, but if she didn't feel offended by it, then who are we to be like he was wrong for that? He didn't wrong us. He
It
wronged
wasn't
her
about
in
it.
your opinion. So if she didn't feel any type of way about it,
Well, yeah,
then
she may not even felt he was wrong. Right.
exactly. So we making this big deal about
I'm
how
only
he should
going
have
off.
handled that a different way. If she ain't said nothing about it, if she didn't feel no type of way about it, then obviously it wasn't wrong in her eyes. And since it was done to her, then nobody else should have an opinion about it. But what I'm saying is, even after he did the Tamron Hall show, if he felt that if he thought about it and was like, okay, maybe I could have handled it a different way. If he went back to her and had a conversation with her and apologized to her, then
I,
everybody else should just leave it be.
I don't think he went and apologize. If you ask me, I don't think he. I think he was right for what he did. Okay, and I think that he felt like, because he said on Tamron Hall, I'll do it again if I have to. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but all I'm saying, what I'm trying to establish is this: he can do that. He has a right to do that, and nobody can really stop him, but God.
But see, and the sad thing is that that's what happens. That's the sad part. Is that is what occurs. Is that so many. What was the man in the Bible where he preached for so long, but God took his hands off of him? So you can go on preaching, doing everything you want to do without the grace of God being present. I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's between him and God. That's the way I see it. It's
True. Yeah.
between him and God, and if and, that's why I say I'm not a pastor, and I don't, so I can't judge that situation. And I feel like it's a very sensitive thing to talk about in the facts of we just can't let the church run wild either. Good leadership don't let people just do what they want to do in the church, especially in the service.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
All right, look, we done. We are done. I want to make these quick announcements so we can get up out of here. J. Brene Productions, they are going to be at City Winery June 17th.
Hey,
Doors open at 6. Show is at 7:30. They're having an I Am King tribute to men in music at the City Winery. That is citywinery.com. Also, June 19th, they will be having a Juneteenth tribute show in Nashville, Tennessee. And that will be June 19th. So y'all check that out. City Winery, J. Brene Productions. And we up. I like the way you move. Bum bum bum. I like the way you move. Bum bum
thank
bum.
y'all for
I
tuning
like the
in.
way you
Good
move.
night. Good
Bum
night.
bum
Good
bum.
night.